Since he was a kid, he wanted to stand up for those who couldn't. So after earning a double major at the U of U in sociology and human development family studies, he took that knowledge into law enforcement. Tonight, we learn more about Detective Zach Bench and our Behind the Badge report.
Quite often you'll come in contact with victims, whether it be an assault, domestic situation, or even a fraud, and they're just lost, confused. They don't know how to solve the problem or who to go to for answers.
Detective Zach Bench says being there for people is why he decided to become an officer.
So I wanted to be that person that could help them out.
Today, he works in violent crimes with the Unified Police Department.
Hey, it's Detective Bench with Unified Police. How you doing, man? Hey, just calling to follow up on your case.
The 33-year-old officer says he and his team take their job very seriously.
Set up a time to come in and talk about it.
When someone's lost a loved one, whether it be through suicide or through, the hands of another, they need answers. They want answers. They want closure. When answers need to be found, I'm going to do everything that I can.
In addition to violent crimes, Detective Bench is also a crisis negotiator. And during his 10-year career, he has covered a lot of territory.
It's that opportunity to meet, many, children who were in crisis, whether it be their own situations or the situation at home.
While working in protective services, he interacted with juveniles on a regular basis at the county's Youth Services Center.
We'd have dinner with them, play basketball with them, play games with them, a lot of things to interact with the kids on a positive note.
He worked as a patrol officer for 5 years in Holiday and Mill Creek, then moved to Riverton to investigate fraud and property crimes.
It was a big change, being in a patrol car for 10 hours a day, switching to sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day. It was a culture shock for me.
He dealt with hundreds of cases, but the case involving a stolen wedding and engagement ring from a local gym is one of the highlights.
Within an hour, I had a response back, and both rings had been pawned at a pawn shop in Midvale, and they still had them physically in custody.
He called the woman who had the ring stolen to come verify they were hers.
Her and her husband met, and the clerk brought the rings out, and she instantly, it was an emotional event. She started to tear up. And you could just see the significance of those rings.
Detective Bench says that is a perfect example of why he loves law enforcement and why he plans to continue in police work for years to come.
I wanted to be the person that could stand up and speak for somebody who couldn't, or someone who was afraid or unable to stand up for themselves.
Detective Bench also served as officer friendly, taught the kids at Morningside Elementary. Now, if you'd like to nominate an officer, or firefighter, first responder for a future Behind the Badge story, you can do that by sending me an email or going to goodforutah.com/badge.